Proč je Minecraft nuda? Dáme tam automatický překlad. Let's go.
Minecraft used to be simple, but it's not anymore. What did that just do? Oh, what the heck? Oh, no, no. What the heck is that thing? Oh, it shoots lasers! Oh, there's chest boats. It's no secret that Minecraft has added a lot of features since it was released. They've revamped entire dimensions, created new bosses, and even added fully automatic weapons. So why is it that through all of these new features, Minecraft still feels boring? You would think that with so many new items to collect and so many new mobs to explore, that Minecraft would be as interesting as ever.
Já nechám domluvit a pak se na to zareaguje.
It just feels stale. We all remember that feeling of booting up the game for the first time, opening your first world, and having no idea what you're supposed to do. But maybe that's what made Minecraft fun. Maybe having to find...
Ne, a teď to je snad... Ježiš, kámo, to je 30 vteřin, už nesouhlasím vůbec ničem, jo. Samozřejmě, že vždycky, když máš nějakou hru, která je nová, tak ta hra je nejlepší. Naprosto krásný příklad je u Vovka. Vovko během prvních 2 měsíců, kdy jsem to hrál, byla naprosto fenomenální jako zkušenost. Ty si prostě objevoval herní mechaniky, světy, předchozí expanze, questy, charaktery. To byl zázrak prostě, jo. To byl zázrak. Nebo třeba poprvý klasik, jo. Ale samozřejmě, když tu hru hraješ 10 let, tak ta hra samozřejmě začne být stale. To tak jako je, holtno.
Now how to play the game and discover features for the first time is why we liked it in the first place. And while this might be one factor, I think there's actually something more. Something deeper. The real reason why Minecraft isn't fun anymore is all because of chest boats. Every game has something called progression, a course of action that a player must complete to move forward. I actually didn't know that, I had to look it up. In GTA, you rob people to increase your wealth. In Pokemon, you battle trainers to get badges. And in Fortnite, please don't make me talk about Fortnite. But in Minecraft's case, the progression is a little bare bones, mostly consisting of mining ores and crafting tools.
Ano.
But over time, it's
tak ona ta hra byla vždycky dělaná od začátku právě na to, že tady máš svět a dělej si něco. Jo, že de facto jak celý Minecraft byl taková sandboxová věc, tak on tam nebyl žádný ultimátní cíl. A pokud si pamatuju dobře, a teďka mi klidně opravte, v Minecraftu, v betě a v těch prvních verzích, tak tam dokonce nebyla ani end, ne? A nebo ani nether. Takže vlastně ty si neměl žádný end toho světa jako takovýho. Prostě de facto tvůj jediný cíl tak bylo prozkoumávej. Nebylo nic. Jo, a prostě to se samozřejmě změnilo.
This small system that I believe has started to cause major problems. The first of which being that the game is just way too simple. You see, Minecraft's main progression currently looks like this. You upgrade through each armor set, kill the Ender Dragon, and if you want to, get an Elytra. You can also fight this guy, but he's just a side. And although this system is meant to be simple, there hasn't been anything big added to it in a long time. Besides one key thing...
No, týpek je celkem chytrý, kámo. Doslova jsem o tom tématu dělal třeba několik videí, kdy jsem doslova říkal, že tady má být jedna věc, tady mají být ještě třeba 2 týry a tady mají být další 2 týry. A najednou by to bylo prostě úplně někde jinde. A tohleto nemá být v modech. Tohleto má být v té základní hře. Ta hra jako taková je extrémně simple a já chápu, že to je prostě něco, co funguje, ale je až jako do extrému simple.
Minecraft sám o sobě mi až tak zábavný nepřijde, ale servery a minihry, které tvoří komunita, jsou zábavné a nemá hranice. Můžeš udělat CSGO, Star Wars, zombie apokalypsa a tak dále.
Chápu, já třeba osobně vnímám, že jediná zábavná věc pro mě v Minecraftu aktuálně speedrun. To je jediný prostě, co je zábavný a všechno ostatní mi prostě přijde, že je zbytečně moc simple.
Is meant to be simple. There hasn't been anything big added to it in a long time. Besides one key thing that we'll talk about later, the last major change to progression was in 2011 with the addition of the Ender Dragon. That was 12 years ago. In that time, people have been born, raised, and are probably out vaping at this exact moment. Yes, we've gotten the Wither, but like I said, you don't really have to fight it. Things like Guardians and the Warden are cool, but there's no real reason to seek them out. Most features added to the game nowadays are just meant to stall.
Já jsem hlavně kámo pochopil to, že de facto Warden nemá, nebo neměl mít žádný loot, aby ho hráči nezabíjeli. Proč by si do prdele přidával takovouhle věc do hry prostě? Jakože úplně WTF, kámo, jo. To prostě nemá třeba vůbec žádný smysl.
So that's issue number 1. But issue number 2 is a little bit more interesting because it's the fact that Minecraft is getting easier.
Vážně?
Like, a lot easier. 2011, Minecraft had just passed 1 million sales, and it started to get its first batch of fans.
Dated wham, I should have the server.
I really hate this kid. Notch was in dire need to add something to the game, so the first thing he thought of was beds. I could make so many jokes here, but I'm gonna have self-control. Beds were craftable with wool and would allow you to skip the night, the most dangerous stretch of the game. You could literally just avoid all the mobs and danger the game and just skip straight to the daytime. But hey, listen, there's still mobs underground. The game
Ale kámo, nevím, já jsem třeba ten názor taky viděl v nějakém videu, kde doslova lidi říkali, že Minecraft přestal být zábavný po tom, co přidali do hry postele. A já si úplně říkám, what the fuck, kámo. Prostě, jako nepřijde mi teda, že by to bylo jakoby tak, že by to vlastně vůbec byla pravda tohle, jo. Jakože, chápu to, ty můžeš skipnout tu noc s tím celou, ale nezdá se, že ta hra byla vždycky, jako že ta hra vůbec byla stavená okolo nějakého brutálního survivalu, že jo. To je třeba, jako kdyby si řekl, že Forest není zábavný, protože v té hře jsou kempy. To je prostě úplná blbost, že jo.
Hard enough. It's not like they're letting us fly or anything. 2016. A lot of things happened in 2016, but among them was the 1.9 combat update, which was the most controversial update in Minecraft history. Alongside completely changing the PvP system, it also added the elytra, which allowed you to fly in survival. This made traveling around extremely easy, removed the need to walk, and made exploration effortless. But come on, they're pretty hard to get. It's not like they're giving away diamonds, okay? 2019. This time they updated villagers, which literally sell you diamonds. Not only do you not have to mine for pretty much anything anymore, you also don't have to enchant because the villagers sell that too. I don't need to do anything. I could just be a slave owner. You can see the common trend with these updates. Mojang adds something that makes the game easier without adding anything to balance it out. This explains why
Tohle je kámo dobrý point, že oni prostě přidávají věci, ale doslova nestaví žádný jakoby nový věci, pro který by lidi museli pracovat. Ano.
Mojang adds something that makes the game easier without adding anything to balance it out. This explains why Minecraft feels much shorter than it used to. Since there's so many new features to make the game easier, players can find ways to beat it faster and faster and faster.
Ano.
And yes, I did learn how to speedrun specifically for this 4-second clip. But there's one update that never did any of this. It made the game harder, made progression longer, and is also hailed as one of the greatest updates of all time. I'm of course talking about Buzzy Bee. The Nether update was released in 2020, and it changed the game in two huge ways. First of all, it added netherite, a completely new material better than diamond. To get it, you would have to mine in the nether for the extremely rare ore type ancient debris, and combine it with your existing diamond armor. Not only does this add an entirely new step to progression, but it also prevents you from skipping straight to it, since you have to upgrade your old armor rather than replace it. Kind of like how I can't replace my terminal brain illness. But there's one more thing the Nether update did that's...
Já se třeba myslím, že by měli přidat ještě jednu dimenzi. Že by měl být Overworld, Nether a prostě před Endem by ještě měla být jedna dimenze. Že by to bylo úplně podle mě nejlepší, ale nebe třeba, ano. A akorát prostě je otázka, jak to jakoby spojit, tak aby to fungovalo. Aether? To existuje přímo, jo? Jo, nebe jako v Terrarii, rozumím. Že vlastně my se vlastně vracíme zpátky, ty vole, k Terrarii pořád dokola. Protože prostě Terrarii to má vyřešený všechno.
Even more important, and that is making fortresses much harder to find. Before the Nether update, you could just kind of walk around without really having to fight anything, and eventually find a fortress since they were pretty common. But after the Nether update, you had to traverse through 4 different dangerous biomes while constantly fighting hordes of piglets to go through huge bastards with brutes that will one-shot you, and on top of that, fortresses are 3 times as rare. Jesus. With fortresses now much harder to find, completing the game was not only more difficult, but also more time-consuming, which in turn lengthens the progression of the game and makes it much more enjoyable to play. The Nether update as a whole was a huge turn in the right direction for Minecraft. It made the game harder, lengthened the main progression, and overall improved the game in many different ways. So we're good, right? We can just sit back, relax, let Mojang do their thing, and they can keep pumping out updates just like this one. No, why the hell would you think that? The next update Mojang released was Caves and Cliffs, which went right back to making Minecraft easier. Now, don't get me wrong, this update did a lot, especially for the ambience of mountains and caves. But when it comes to progression, it had some seriously negative effects. When Mojang was revamping caves, they made a ton of changes to how ores generate. One being that diamond veins now generated much more often. In addition to this, Mojang made caves, especially those found deeper under...
No počkej. Jakoby oni se generují častěji, ale zase zároveň ten svět je 2x větší, ne? Takže jasně, že je prostě musí generovat častěji, vole. To tam teda nepřijde, že by byl jako měl být nějaký zásadní problém, jako zatím, co vidíme.
Much larger, which in turn exposes even more diamonds than the smaller caves found before 1.18. This makes diamonds a lot less rare than they used to be, allowing players to...
Dobře, hraje tady někdo Minecraft na té poslední verzi. Je to fakt tak strašně moc poznat? Mně to osobně přijde, že třeba diamantu je hodně 1.16, jako jo, ale to je takový těžký, no. Není to poznat. Generuje se častěji, ale menší počet. Jo, takže ty třeba prostě najdeš 1, tamhle 2, tamhle 4 prostě, ale že by si našel jakoby 8 a 8, to se moc jako nestává, prostě rozumím. Je to poznat? No dobrý, takže prostě třeba je to poznat, pokud jako fakt to vnímáš.
Speed through progression even faster than they were before. But don't worry, because luckily Mojang noticed this issue and created an all-new ore type to mitigate it in the form of copper. It has so many possibilities. It could be used to make new tools useful in the early game, forge unique armor with special abilities. I mean, it could fix the diamond problem, add to progression, and make the game even more interesting than it was before. Lightning rods. We got lightning rods. The wild update was even worse.
Ale týpek doslova přesně vnímá ty stejný problémy, který mám já. Prostě doslova tam není jak progresovat. Ty prostě doslova, mě to fakt sere, já prostě jednoho dne, jak si zahraju tu Terrarii, tak úplně vidím, že to budu hrát 2 měsíce. Protože úplně přesně ten Terraria progression systém je naprosto perfektní. Ty máš 1 ore, 2 ore, 3 ore, boss. Ore, mechanika. OK, dobře. Upgrade mechaniky, ore, into, new ore. Dimenze, voda, nebe, brácho, křídla, vole, boss. A teď si úplně říkáš, WTF, vole, jo, a Minecraft je železo, rodky, oka, drak. Skvělý. Úplně perfektní hra prostě, jo, jako... Co k tomu jako říct, ty vole,
It didn't add anything to directly affect the player's journey, and the one thing that actually does is locked away in the most dangerous area of the game, which by the time you're able to get to, doesn't serve any use anymore. Now don't get me wrong, not every feature has to have major effects on the game. Adding things simply for the sake of ambience can do a lot to improve immersion.
Ale to třeba souhlasím, a třeba ty transmogy, které teď předávají do Minecraftu, je podle mě jedna z nejlepších věcí. Proč? Protože já se vsadím, že každý survival server vypadá tak, že každý má na sebe netheriteový armor. Takže každý hráč vypadá stejně. A to je prostě špatně. Ty prostě potřebuješ tohleto předělat.
But if Mojang continues to shorten the length of progression and almost never add anything to it, over time people are just going to get bored, which is the reason why many are saying Minecraft isn't fun anymore.
Chtěla by to žáby, kámo. Prostě přesně kvůli lidem jako seš ty, taky Minecraft v prdeli. Žáby. Když už, tak třeba hrochy, ty píčo. Normálně, hrochy, ty vole. Veliký mobky, které budou prostě v těch jezerech. A tam se budeš kopat. Budeš tady kopat štěrk, potřebuju flint, kopu si štěrk, vole. Další štěrk, bráško. A tako tam přijde hroch, vole. A zabije tě prostě do píči, vole. A teďko, aha, dobře, tak já se tam budu ty vole chránit, jo? To by byl pořádně update, ty píčo. A teďko přesně prochází světem, běžím k portálu, nikde nic, a jako najednou přijde slon a prostě tě zašlápne, ty píčo, rozumíš? To byl gameplay, vole. Prostě ano, kočkoholky, hrochy a slony. Prostě kde update?
So, how do we fix it?
Byla bomba, ty vole.
One of my favorite games ever made is Terraria. People say it's...
Nebudu to hrát. Dneska hrajeme Zeldu.
Like 2D Minecraft, it's a little more complicated than that. It starts off pretty similar to Minecraft. People say it's like 2D Minecraft, it's a little more...
Tohle je Terraria? What the fuck?
Complicated. It starts off pretty similar to Minecraft. You mine some ores, craft some armor, but after that, it slowly descends into madness. But the main takeaway is that Terraria utilizes level scale, a developer concept where the game gets harder as you get stronger. In Terraria, after you defeat whatever the hell that thing was from earlier, your world is plunged into hard mode, causing stronger enemies to spawn around you and more powerful ores to generate as well. Looking over at Minecraft, there isn't really anything like...
Jo, takhle to funguje v Terrarii, aha. Kámo, to je úplně geniální. Takže to by se mění ten svět s tvojí progresí. Ježíš, to je úplně geniální systém, ty vole, holy shit.
Like the player can get stronger anytime they like, but the enemies of the overworld stay exactly the same throughout the entire playthrough. So let's fix that. Let's say that after defeating the Ender Dragon, a few new, stronger enemies are able to spawn naturally in the overworld. They don't need to be anything insane, but just enough to add a little more challenge to the late game once you're decently geared up. In addition to that, let's make it so that Netherite only starts generating after you defeat the Ender Dragon. Not only does this fix some of the...
Kámo, to je super, ty vole. Ono to reálně s tou hrou toho moc neudělá, ale to je třeba super nápad. Že by si de facto měl tajnutý orečka jak progresy. Že by si ti třeba, teďko třeba dám příklad, odemkne se ti Warden jenom potom, co třeba zabiješ Enderdraka. Ale jak to seš, kámo, kurva udělat v tom generování? To by si musel po zabití draka přegenerovat celý svět. To je fakt docela těžký,
because let's face it, Netherite is way too OP to have before you fight the dragon. But it also gives players a legitimate reason to then go out and find Netherite, since there are now going to be stronger enemies in your world. If we wanted to go even further, we could also make it so that the Deep Dark only generates after.
Pak men bude Terraria.
Já tady jen taky doplním jednu věc a to je to, že skutečně mám pocit, že animáci v Overworldu jsou strašně špatný v Minecraftu. Jediný dva dobrý animáci v Overworldu tak je podle mě Creeper a potom Enderman. A Enderman spíš prostě, jakoby spíš ho potkáváš v Netheru. Takže mi prostě přijde, že mi celkově chybějí nějaký jakoby opravdu zajímavý animáci. A jakoby ano, ty tu máš třeba pillagery, že jo? Raidy na vesnice a tak.
Terraria plus.
Ale celkově to prostě nějak nefunguje, no.
After the dragon. This just makes a little more sense with how hard it is to navigate, and now that the game is more difficult, it finally gives a use to the recovery compass, since you might die a little more due to the stronger enemies. I am so good at this, dude. Don't get me wrong, this would be changing a lot, so it would probably be better if they added these things little by little, but I think it could genuinely make an impact on the game's enjoyability, and make Minecraft more interesting. That, or I'm just really high right now. But there's one other thing that Terraria does amazingly, and that is employ split progression. Split progression is when you offer different options to the player depending on their unique playstyle. In Terraria, if you like ranged weapons, they have a specific armor set for you, which will give you certain range-related buffs. If you prefer using...
Vážně? Takže vy máte v Terrarii i buildy.
melee weapons, they have a set that'll give you more defense. And finally, if you like chest boats, you should end your life. Sorry, that slipped in. The point is, in Terraria, different players can have different experiences depending on what they like to do most. So let's apply this to Minecraft. Let's bring back that copper armor idea from earlier. We'll make it so that copper armor is weaker than iron, but each piece you wear will give you a small speed bump. This is because copper can conduct electricity, and everybody knows that electricity equals speed. I learned that from the Sonic movie. Now, instead of just making iron armor without a second thought, you would be able to choose between having more defense and having slightly faster movement speed. We could also up this to enchantment, similar to how you can't have mending and infinity on the same bow. When enchanting your sword...
To je kámo dobrý point, protože vlastně veškerá variety, která v Minecraftu je v těch buildech, tak je v enchantech, že jo? Ty máš třeba infinity bow, potom tam je... potom máš mending věci, že jo, na craftění, to používají všichni. A potom, co se používá, ty vole, na zbraních. Teď mi vypadly ty jména těch enchantů. No prostě používá se jakoby jeden typ enchantů, že jo? A to je vlastně tak nějak všechno.
You would have to choose between more damage
sharpness, ano.
With sharpness or faster hit cooldown with quick strike. Choices like this make the game much more interactive and allow players to express their own specific playstyle, similarly to how your mother expresses her playstyle in bed. Now again, all of this would be changing a lot, and many of you are probably going to disagree with some of these suggestions, but that's okay. One thing we can all agree on is that Minecraft is different for every person that plays it. What may make the game more interesting for one person makes it way too complicated for another.
And
at the end of the day, it's really up to us, the community, to make the game fun. Yes, we can have cool new armor set.
Já se člověče obávám, že tady nemá šanci to udělat, protože Minecraft je tak strašně veliká hra, že ty máš nějaký komunit okolo toho. Máš speedrunnery, máš casual hráče, máš server hráče, máš lidi, co hrají prostě akorát betu, máš lidi, co prostě, nevím, zajímá třeba jenom PvP a tak dále, jo. GTA 5 je u toho úplně stejná. Jsou lidi, co do dneška hrajou GTA Online, jsou lidi, co hrajou kampaň, anebo akorát single, a prostě pak tu máš velikou skupinu lidí, která hraje RPčko. Jo, takže ono je celkem těžký z toho vytáhnout nějakou věc, aby prostě musel Mojang změnit spoustu věcí s tou hrou. A to se vám super nepodaří.
That's enchantments or a lightning rod if you really want to, but at its core, Minecraft is what you make it to be. What you want it to be. And that's what makes it special. The only question is, what will you choose? Which is why I wanted to talk about the penis update. When I tell you this video was annoying to make, I mean it, okay? The script almost turned into my goddamn suicide note.
Výborná práce. OK, za spoustu věcí nesouhlasím, ale dobrý. Všechno by se vyřešilo, kdyby Mojang přidal nukleární zbraně. Kámo, let's go. Let's go. Nukleární zbraně, ty vole, ano. Doslova, já vím, že jsou na to módy, ale třeba vykratit si AKčko, to byla najednou úplně jiná hra, ty vole. Prostě Creeper, mrt. S bohem. No. Ale jako samozřejmě záleží. Co si myslíš o Hytale? Já si člověče myslím, že Hytale by mohlo mít šanci urvat nějaký hráče, ale já se začínám obávat toho, že Hytale nikdy nevíde. Jo, nicméně prostě kdo ví. Kdo ví.